believe that you can get by with minimal book smarts or sheer talent, while on the other hand, people work day and night to climb the ladder of sophistication in hopes of success. In my humble opinion, there are two types of people, those who are educated and those who are not. Which one do you consider yourself to be? Or better yet, who do you aspire to be? As I am dual enrolled as a senior in high school and also as a thriving college freshman, one can understand my extent of passion for my education. Learning is something I crave, and I am quite proud of that. Career readiness and job placement require more attention than most people are willing to provide. To address this problem, we will look at more financial aid and moral support that's needed for college students. We will explore how these factors can help students get a better education and what you can do to help. So let's start by looking at the correlation between education and employment. Due to unpredictable and fluctuating economy, career readiness and job placement are indefinitely an essential asset in finding a stable place in the workforce. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics database, the rate to which unemployment affects the country is significantly higher in those who neglect to get a college education than those with degrees. Needless to say, the farther down the educational scale you go, so do your opportunities to find a stable job. The fact of the matter is, the highest paying jobs and the most secure ones are available to those who have college certifications and degrees. With that being said, a high school diploma is no longer impressive, but expected. Another substantial factor in the argument for higher education is the lack of career readiness in students. Scholars and researchers worldwide agree that education holds its own weight on the scale of success. School doesn't just teach kids how to graph polynomial functions and construct complex and compound sentences, but it teaches them how to think for themselves. This is essential to being ready to enter a career workplace that's demanding, and quite frankly, if you don't have this skill, a lot of employers will be able to tell. To fix this epidemic of lethargy when it comes to education, it would be in the best interest to provide students with continuous moral and financial aid. According to a study published by William G. Thompson at East Tennessee State University, each student that was provided character education produced a significantly positive change in behavior. These students were elementary schoolers who were in a controlled setting. His dissertation concludes that students develop intellectual strongholds when positively reinforced by peers and teachers. While digging around, I also found an article by the Washington Post that talked about the benefits of moral support in correlation to student productivity. The grittiest students proved to be those with enthusiastic teachers, peers, and mentors, and their test scores were significantly higher than those who were in an average curriculum. Besides a substantial amount of moral support and financial aid, moral support, students demonstrate a need for financial assistance in order to further their education beyond a high school classroom setting. According to the U.S. Department of Education, the net price of a public institution, such as YSU for instance, hovers around $14,000 a year. Looking further into this, we see that close to 78% of first-year full-time students receive some sort of financial aid. So this here is representing the percentage of students full-time that receive some kind of federal grant. This is the local and state grants. This is institutional grants, and these are student loans. So as you can tell, the student loan percentage is much higher than any of the other ones, and that's most likely because students have to pay the money back. This side represents the amount of tuition for each type of college. So for instance, a college like YSU is usually about $13,000. This coordinates with the private nonprofit institutions, and this is for private for-profit institutions. So, anyone with a heart and a checkbook can see that moral and financial aid are key components to solutions for educational apathy. With the help of these two things, students will have practically nothing standing in their vision of a better education. For example, more money translates into more opportunities for the student. Some students use their money or grants to do research projects or even study abroad, both of which are awesome opportunities to grow cognitively. Also, if students had more money, they could enroll in college with peace of mind, knowing that the aftermath of their good education wouldn't be as stressful on their families, themselves, and their bank accounts. Not only would money be a motivator for students to get through college, but also constant encouragement from peers, teachers, and parents. Many psychologists worldwide and throughout a few hundred years have dedicated their careers and lives to the study of behavior in relation to positive reinforcement, such as B.F. Skinner and his famous Skinner boxes. All in all, these factors would help a student get an education that they needed to be successful in their careers. So due to the statistics that keep piling up in databases, such as the ones that I have presented for you today, we can conclude that there is most definitely a need for all types of education. Two of the biggest factors in how we obtain this education include financial and moral aid. After listening to all of this, I want you most to consider the impact that you have by taking a stance to better education. Are you doing everything you can to learn new things and better yourself? Or if you have kids, are you giving them everything they need to be an educated scholar one day? I hope so. Thank you for watching.